Hi, I'm Tiffany. This is my very first YouTube video, but I wanted to do a tutorial on how to make your own laundry detergent to help save some money. I was paying about $40 a month on laundry detergent, and now I've cut my costs down to about $4 every 2 months on laundry detergent. And I'd just like to share this with you, so bear with me because this is my very first video. I started off grating a bar of this Fels-Naptha laundry soap. You can actually use any soap that you want. You can use any kind of bath soap or whatever, but this is actually laundry soap, so I think that it might do better cleaning. But the very first batch that I ever made, I used that green stuff, the Irish Spring, and it worked great. I can't really tell the difference. But I would recommend using a cheese grater to grate the soap down. And you put it in a pot with 4 cups of hot water and just kind of boil it down. I would also recommend using like a designated pot just for this laundry soap making, so that you don't have food that tastes like the laundry soap. So all I've done is added the grated bar of soap into the 4 cups of hot water, and I'm stirring it occasionally, and it's kind of on a medium high. And what you want to do is just kind of get this melted all the way so that there's no lumps of soap on your little spatula. And this is almost ready, but there's still some little chunks floating around. So I'm going to talk about the other ingredients while this is cooking up, melting rather. I also use a cup or a bowl that's designated just for the grating of the soap, so that I don't mix the soaps with the food and all that. You can use different essential oils to make the smells. I really like smells. I haven't added any until this last batch. I just got an empty Tide container and I filled it up with the laundry detergent, and I added about 8 to 10 drops of this lavender oil just to kind of experiment with it. And this time I think the first batch, or the first gallon that I'm going to do, I'm going to put some Pine Sol in it. Just this friend of mine that owns a laundry service said that this works great for getting grease out. And my husband gets grease all over him all the time, so I'm just going to try it and see if it, and I like the smell of the lemon Pine Sol, so I'm just going to try that and see how it works. I've designated another 1 cup measuring cup just for measuring out my laundry soap into the washing machine. I'm going to talk about the other ingredients. This is almost finished. So what you do, you add this, let's see, I have a 7-gallon bucket. My husband found this for me. You can actually use a 5-gallon bucket. They recommend filling it half full of hot water. So I'm going to do that now. I just have one of these little, you have to excuse me, one of these little, this makes it a lot easier. I'm just going to get the water hot now. Once it gets hot, you can just kind of spray it in here and get it about halfway full of hot water. Okay, I'm ready. This is half full. The bucket's half full of hot water now. I'm going to talk about these other ingredients. This 20 team borax, you use, I believe it's half a cup of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and measure it out in my laundry. This is what I pour my detergent in the washing machine, but I just kind of come in here and get about half a cup. About half a cup, and I'll just pour it into the hot water. And you're done with the borax now. The borax, I think, is about $3 a box. You're supposed to use sodium carbonate, not sodium bicarbonate, but sodium carbonate. There's actually a material called Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda that is pure sodium carbonate, I believe. I couldn't find that at any local stores, so I just kind of went on a scavenger hunt and looked for the active ingredient. And this is sodium carbonate, and it's the Dollar General brand of Clorox 2. So I'm assuming that Clorox 2 would probably work just as well if you're into the brands, but I'm just trying to save some money. You can also use pH+, like if you find some pool supplies that are at the treatment, the water treatment, if you find any of that on sale or anything, but that's usually more expensive. The very first batch that I made, I got some of the pH+, and it was so expensive. I mean, it was like $8 for just a small little tub of it. I mean, this was $2 at the Dollar General, but you use a cup of this. You can look online and try to find some, but just whatever's easier. There's some stores that actually sell the Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda. I'll leave a recipe on the description also, but just a cup of this, pour it in to the hot water, and then you add the melted soap, which is already melted, the melted grated soap. And what I do, I fill this pot back up because there's a soap residue, and I want to try to get all of the soap out that I can. So I fill this up with hot water while I'm stirring this. You may not be able to hear me very well, but you just stir this until it is dissolved, until all the powder is dissolved. And I use my little spoon and the pot that I melted the soap down in. All I'm doing is stirring, just to get the powder dissolved. Oh, gonna make y'all dizzy. Then I'm gonna add this hot water that is in this pan. We can kind of spin it around to get some of the soap residue off of the sides of the pan. Then I'm going to pour this in. And still kind of just rake around. And I'm going to keep doing this until the pot or the 5-gallon bucket is almost probably about 2/3 of the way full, because my washroom is not right next to the kitchen, and I don't want to spill this stuff all over the carpet on the way to the washroom. So I'll probably put one more pot in, and then I'm going to carry my 5-gallon bucket, or 7-gallon bucket rather, to the washroom. Then I'm going to come back in the kitchen and get another pan of the hot water and take it to the washroom and fill up the 7-gallon bucket to the top. That way I get all of the detergent that I can out of this one bucket. I usually only have to make laundry detergent every 2 months, and I have a family of 4, me, my husband, and I have 2 children, 2 little boys that get dirty and messy all the time. I think the soap residue is about off. That's what I was looking for. And this is about, let's say, about to the rim of this bucket. So now what I'm going to do is just carry the bucket to the washroom, and then I'm going to carry probably 1 or 2 more of these pots full of hot water to the washroom and fill them up the rest of the way. I usually leave maybe about 1 inch or so at the top. Just trying to get as much of the liquid detergent as I possibly can. After you have made this, I recommend stirring it about every hour or 2, or maybe not that often, maybe every few hours at least. You can't use this for 24 hours. It has to set up and kind of cool. If you don't stir it very often, you're going to end up going back tomorrow and have a great big blob of jello like stuff. Just real hard to stir. It's really nasty looking. A lot of times I forget to stir, and it just makes it more difficult to stir it up because it's such a big solid blob of gel. So it just makes it easier if you can just to kind of go around and stir it every few hours, and usually in 24 hours it is cool enough and you can use it. You can just dip it right out of the bucket like I do. The recipe that I got offline, which is pretty similar, is you can use about half a cup of this per load, but I use about a cup just because we really get our clothes dirty and I just want to make sure that they're clean. But it works great. We've been using it for about 1.5 years now, and I'm very satisfied with it, and it's saving a lot of money. Like I said before, I was paying about $40 a month on store-bought detergent, and now I've cut my cost down to about $4 a month on or $4 every 2 months on detergent. This bar of soap was 79 cents at the local hardware store. The sodium carbonate, not sodium bicarbonate, that's baking soda and it will not work. The sodium bicarbonate, or sodium carbonate, this was $2 at the Dollar General. And I think I got this at the Walmart for about $3 a box. And I think this is still the box that I was using 1.5 years ago. I don't think that I have gotten another box since then. And this is about half full. I may have, this may be my second box in the last 1.5 years. I'm not sure. And I think that this is either my first or second box still. I'm not sure if I've bought any more of this, but and like I said, you can scent your detergent with essential oils. You can mix them, just whichever ones. I used this the last time, and it worked really well. I'm going to try this. I don't know if this is going to work yet, but I am going to try this in a gallon. I'm going to empty, pour some of this into this empty bottle of Tide, and I'm going to put some of the Pine Sol in just to kind of see what it does. I've experimented before, and my experiments don't always work out very well. I did pour a whole bottle of Gain in the homemade detergent, and it didn't work very well at all. It started doing some crazy stuff to my clothes. There's like 2 shirts that turned pink. I don't know, it's just strange, and it made it real watery. And if you stir this really well, it's going to be the consistency of store-bought detergent tomorrow. So we'll see.